Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. We're going to make a little lemon pound cake, and I mean it's little, like a little loaf pan. Right here, greased and floured. All right, so it's a real simple little recipe. Let me move you in closer. There. All right, 2 sticks of butter, softened, and I just softened mine in the microwave on defrost. To that, you want to add 1 2/3 cups of sugar. We're just going to beat that around a little bit. And that's good enough right there. Now, we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to do it in my hand here. That ought to do it. And then we're going to beat in 1 egg at a time, and it's going to take 5 large eggs. And by the way, the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. These are those Eggland Best eggs. Just beat it in just a little bit. The next one, doesn't take but just a few minutes to put this cake together. Beat that one in real quick. And once we get them all these eggs in, then we will, then we'll beat it a little longer. Next egg. And the 5th egg and the final egg. Now the eggs are what become the leavening in this little pound cake. And so you don't really need any baking powder or baking soda. All right, now I'm going to beat this for another minute or so and use a spatula and scrape down the sides, and I'm going to beat it till it's real fluffy, and we'll be right back after I do that. So hold on. Okay, we have completed beating the eggs, butter, and salt and sugar, and now we're ready to add in the flour. Now the flour is just simply 2 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, and you want to sift it and then measure it. So we're going to incorporate that in with the eggs and the butter. And this is a true little pound cake, but this one is going to be lemon. And this recipe was actually on the back of the old Coble dairy butter. I mean, I guess it's like from the 1970s here in South Carolina. And that's where I got the recipe. Excuse me, 1977. See, it's got all junk all over it and everything. You can hardly read it, in fact. But it's a really good recipe. And I will post the recipe down below in the description. Alright, so now let's add a little more flour. And I'm just doing this with the spatula, because if you put the mixer in there, it's just going to kind of sling the flour everywhere. But we will put the mixer in again right at the end after we add the lemon juice and the lemon rind. This makes a great little pound cake too, by the way. If you like lemon pound cake, you will love this one. All right, now let's do our final addition of the flour. Just mixing it in there by hand. And because the flour is sifted, you don't really have to worry too much about lumps. And also, you don't want to beat it too much once you add the flour into the other ingredients, because you want to have a really good texture on the cake. All right, now that's all those ingredients. And next what we need to do is add the juice and rind of 1 lemon. And what I do is shred that rind on one of the shredder things. Let me see if I've got it. I've already put it in the sink. But it's just the rind, the little yellow part off of the lemon, and then the juice of the lemon. Now this was a pretty juicy little lemon, but anyway. So that's the last thing you add in, juice and rind of 1 lemon. And you don't add any vanilla or anything like that. Just the lemon juice and the lemon rind. I'm just mixing that in with the spatula to start with. And that lemon juice kind of reacts a little bit with the butter. Or at least that's what I found to be true. All right, now I'm going to put the mixer in it for just a few little seconds really here, just to make sure it's thoroughly mixed, but I don't want to over mix it. All right, here we go. That ought to do it. You don't want to over mix it once you add the flour in, because that will start developing the gluten in the flour and make the cake not have as good a texture. All right, this is, I think, a 9 by 5 little Pyrex loaf pan. All right, so we're ready to dump this in now. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 55 minutes. And the texture really is determined by the eggs and the butter, because you've got right much butter and eggs in there. And the eggs, of course, expand, and then that's what makes the good texture. Got some on my hand. All right, let me see if I can get more of this out. And you do use all-purpose flour. You do not use self-rising flour in this. And you could use cake flour if you wanted to. I just use the regular all-purpose white lily flour. That's there. There you go. I usually use all the white lily for all the cakes I make, most of the time. All right, let's spread this out in here. Now, it's not going to rise up too much. Hopefully it won't anyway. I like to make a little indent right in the middle, because it's going to kind of rise up there. All right, in the oven, 350 degrees for 55 minutes. And when this is done, we'll be back. Okay, the cake has just gotten done, and it wouldn't have taken much more for it to go over the sides. So we're going to have to let this cool. I've already got our saucers out and the knife, so as soon as it gets cool, we're going to be cutting this. I want to just mention something to you. Oh, wrong way. And see if y'all have noticed this. Since I've been using the Eggland Best eggs, really a lot of the cake recipes rise up higher. They do. And this one, it wouldn't have taken much for it to kind of go over the side. Now, I made sure these were not extra large eggs that I used, but they were large eggs. Now, in the past, I also, on all of those recipes, I use large eggs, but apparently the Eggland Best eggs are a little bit larger than regular large eggs. That's what it seems to me, anyway. All right, so we're going to let this cool a bit, and then we're going to cut it, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a really tall cake. And they always kind of split in the middle when you make the little lemon pound cake, the little short one. I'm not sure why, but anyway, the texture will be great. All right, when it cools, we'll be back. All right, the cake's cooled and we're ready to cut it. Now I cut my camera light on, so I was hoping you could see. It is very, very moist. Okay, we're ready to cut this, so hold on just a minute. All right, here it is. I'm going to taste of it. It's still warm. It's only slightly lemony, but it's good. All right. I've got to get me a glass of tea. We'll see y'all next time.